this actually machine, what the company had decided to
Ramdas garu, I think your voice has gone and your hello.
బ్రహ్మారెడ్డి సార్ ఆయన ఎగ్జిట్ అయిపోయినట్టు సార్ లిస్ట్ లో కనపడట్లేదు.
ఈయన పేరు అది కట్ అయినట్టున్నాడు. ఈస్ ట్రైయింగ్ టు కమ్ బ్యాక్ అగైన్.
ఏదో సిగ్నల్ ప్రాబ్లం అయినట్టుంది, ఎగ్జిట్ అయింది.
Now he is connecting.
Okay.
Maybe net is not stable. Ramdas garu, your audio is not connected. Your audio is out and screen is also out. You have to reshare. Please unmute, Ramdas garu, unmute.
Yeah,
you unmuted, but your PPT has gone. You have to again
okay,
share the screen.
yes. Yes, sir. So I will just briefly run across the 30 products. Actually, this is, as I said, the bulb filament winding machine, where they wanted to develop a 33-year-old Hungarian machine, reverse engineer. So in the process of creating this machine, we created something state-of-art bulb filament winding machine, tungsten filament, to the accuracy of 0.5 micron. This is the first product which I developed for the company. As I said, the challenges always gave us the solution to create some new product actually. Now, the second product, what you see here, is the pressure tube scraping tool. This is actually, you have to get the samples of the scaling from the uranium pipes which are holding the uranium rods in the nuclear reactor, which will give you the shelf life of the reactor so that you can avoid some incidences like the Chernobyl. So now, to get into a pipe which is around 72 dia, you go inside of a 5-meter long pipe and bring some samples. So I had created a robot which could go inside and bring the samples for the testing. Actually, it is actually, once you get the scaling out, you get the deuterium content of the heavy scaling, you will come to know what is the life of the reactor. So this solution also, when they were tabled, my solution was on par with the Canadian system, existing system actually. So this is the second item. Third, as you see, the rotary wing UA is what we have created now. These are some industrial products also we have created for Fenner. These are oil seals actually, where we do the sizing. And this machine, what we had created, could cater to many different sizes in one machine itself actually. Now, as a social responsibility, we wanted to contribute to the safety of the society. So we had created a solution for women's safety. And as a competition from the US, they had given a situation where the woman is trapped on a 14th floor of a building with her hands tied up. The requirement was that in 20 seconds, we should give a response to them, to the victim, saying that the help is on the way. So we participated in the 85 teams all over the world, and we were selected as the semi-finalists. And later, while the demonstration, we were in the top 10 for the women's safety. The system was appreciated by the 7 states of our country where my manager had gone and demonstrated the system. Now, the other item what we had created was, again, as I said, working for Satyam. They had done value engineering, taken up the job of value engineering for the ATMs, NCR. NCR takes the market share of around 60% of the ATMs in the world, actually. So there we had given a solution where they can save for a dispenser unit around 3,000 rupees. which was appreciated by the CTO and CEO of the company, because they also said that they are working on a similar design in USA. Now here, as you come to the railway station, you can never look down because of all the garbage and all the night soil what you see on the tracks. So we had initiated in the end of my career in Satyam, to clean the tracks between the platform. So I had created a solution which can clean everything between the tracks on the railway platforms, near the railway platform, so that the hygiene and everything is maintained. So this has a 7 to 8 systems, which will clean anything which lies between the tracks actually. Now, as you say, the currency counting machine, none of the single currency counting machine is made in India. So here, one of the private companies had initiated a project where we could create a currency counting machine for our country. And we were successful in delivering the currency counting machine. And later we initiated the cash depositing machine also for the same company, where we developed the prototype also for them. So here you can deposit the cash. This was done in 2012 actually, cash depositing machine. The next product actually is a nail collating machine. Nowadays, all the packaging industry uses air guns to hammer the nail into the boxes. So the nails are actually collated onto copper wires and given as an input material for the nail guns. So this is a Chinese product. We had created the design, complete design and the product here actually. Look, and we could have a replacement for the import substitute actually. Now we have also supplied a robotic arm for Satyam. After I left the company, we had supplied a robotic arm for Satyam, where they had given this as a showpiece for Intel. And as Mr. Mohideen has mentioned, I had worked for the blade company. I was the R&D head for the blade company. So the heart of the blade is actually the grinding of the blade strip. Now this machine, we had developed a machine on par with the British's company, and we have the same finish as what you get from them actually. Now this is the product of Lakshya, which is being fired before the missile is hit to this actually. So launching of this Lakshya product actually is very critical when you are on a ship, when the ship is yaw and pitching and rolling out. So we created a crane, which was a collapsible crane, which is a very small footprint. And while it is working, it can open up into a 2 meter by 2 meter thing, which was highly appreciated by the then project director, Mr. Subramaniam from AD. Now, granite processing machinery today uses a lot of saw, a circular saw, a band saw. But the latest technology, what was created by Italians, is that using a wire rope actually, where there are beads coated with diamond powder. So we have created a similar machinery design for, and all this machinery when we created actually. Now this is the aerospace riveting machine, where the shells of the small missiles actually are riveted by hand. So some company here, Tirven Industry, had requested us to create a machine similar to a French company, where the riveting is done fully automatically. So we created the machine looking at the catalog only and supplied the machine also. These are some industrial products being imported for the CLC brick manufacturing. We were successful in creating the whole design here for a private company. Now we lost around 40 children on the Masaipet rail accident. And the railways are not keen on providing manned railway crossing actually. So we have created an unmanned railway crossing system, which is fully autonomous and depends on 3 inputs, 3 redundancy to tell when the train is coming and leaving, and fully automatic system we have. And here actually the system does not need any human intervention to operate, and we can still have a safe transit in populated area actually, where really the system is required to save the lives. Also, Vignan Jyoti engineers had gone to BS River, and there we lost around 24 engineers actually, because somebody had opened the gates of the floodgates actually. So here actually also I have created a solution where you have early warning system related to different technology, and also with the IT, where the people whose existence from a different state is automatically known. There is a system involved in this where the human intervention is not required actually. The fully autonomous system comes into the play, because then the blame game starts actually. So our system is basically on the mechanical event of the opening of the gates, and you will get a warning well in advance about something, water raising at least 10 kilometers in advance actually. This is an harvester used by Pioneer Seeds, which is from Germany, about 2.4 crores from Germany actually. And there, being a cold environment, it does not have a cabin. So here the Pioneer Seeds wanted to use this in Rajasthan, where they want to have at least some air conditioning to operate in Rajasthan actually. Now, being the complexity of the existing system with the and there is no AC, we had developed, even 25 vendors could not take up the challenge. We have developed a system where the power takeoff is from the machinery itself to power to double AC, and also given a very sophisticated internal layouts and the comfort of the driver actually. Now, railway track greasing machinery is a machine which, when we are doing the turning of the tracks on the train, the centrifugal force tries to wear out the outside track of and the replacement is very fast. So now, and abroad, there is a system which will grease the track before the oncoming train and then save the life of the track actually. And your replacement is now not in every month. It can be in 6 months or 8 months, you can have a replacement. So where the life of the track is increased by lubricating the system while the track is, the train is traveling. Now, this is the engine what we had developed for our helicopter. The basic helicopter, actually, the capabilities of the helicopter is the power plant. And we, as in our country, we don't have our own engines. We have to bring our engines from abroad. So we have developed our engine, and we are developing this for both the helicopter models actually. Now, this wire bending machine actually, what you see here, when we have had some bad incidences of women being abused in a car, moving car, the black film on the car has been now replaced or removed actually totally. So to have a protection from the sun in the market, aftermarket, you don't have anything to give you 100% coverage on the window for small cars. So somebody had requested us to make a machine to the shape of the window cutout, where they will do the cloth mounting and sell it as an aftermarket. So this is completely developed by us from scratch, this machine, and you take any car, we'll bend the wire to the shape of the window automatically. Now, this is a request. What you see here is a child rescue from borewell. Borewell is also, when you lose a child and the whole country is now worried, that how to bring the child out. DRDO has approached us to provide a solution to bring the child out. We had made a snake robot, and this snake will slither from the back of the child and come into between the legs and secure the child. And here also around 7 to 8 systems are there, where you have at least 3 cameras feeding the system, getting the vitals, all these things are there. And you can see we had created the robotic arm, the green part, to pull him out in 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you can bring him out actually. Now, as you see, the drone has a maximum life of 45 minutes. It cannot perform more than 45 minutes anywhere in the world because of the issues of the battery's power to weight ratio. But recently, we have an advantage of flying the drone by powering from down, which is called a theta drone, where the data as well as the power supply is done through a cable, optical cable actually, optical fiber. So this we had given to Bell, the design for using in the ships at sea, which will give you a vertical height of around 150 meters. So your coverage of the area is better. Now, the bullet fired by a Bofors gun actually will follow the trajectory of the angle of firing. But if you want to change the course of when the target is moving, we have to incorporate some electronics and mechanical, where the canards have to be put in the nose of the bullet, and then you have to actuate them. So this existing technology is only with around 4 countries in the world. We are the 5th country. We have provided the technology with the required torque and the speed of the canard actuation. We had created this whole solution ourselves in-house and given it to the end user. Now, recently, Tata has approached us to create a solution where now the railway industry is trying to eliminate the guard. So abroad, there is a technology available where you mount a system in the back of the last bogie, and it will do all the functions of what the guard is to do, like checking the integrity, crossing a particular junction, everything. So this system actually, we had designed the whole thing, and we could convince the CTO of Tata SCD Bangalore about our capabilities to provide the solution. This is also designed completely in-house by us. Here in Hyderabad, or now EV is a trend actually, electric vehicles. So the most polluting vehicle on the road is an auto. And to find a solution to creating new autos or creating a solution to existing autos, actually, the requirement is the batteries, which the weight of the battery is around 90 plus kg. To handle 90 plus kg, it is beyond the task of a human being actually. So we have created a integrated charging from plus replacement solution for the one of the vendors here in Hyderabad actually, where any orientation of the misalignment of the auto also, it will autonomously remove the battery and mount the new one actually on its own. This actually stabilized platform, what you see, is created for ITR Balasore, where they do the missile testing. They wanted some UAV to take off from the sea itself, where there is no availability of ship, and do the checking of the missile trials. So we had given solutions, and we had demonstrated the system capabilities at the Balasore also. And they were very much happy to see that the solutions to their requirements were where the system actually has to hold its position with rough sea also in around 1.5 meters for the GPS location, what they have defined actually. So we had given a system to that requirement and to that accuracy also. Here, what we see, a stabilized platform where you carry the whole radar on the in the sea separately, and the antenna is placed around 40 meters, 30 to 40 meters away from the system. And the missile, once you start the radar, the missile should come and hit the antenna without disturbing or destroying the assets of the radar. And this also requirement was that it should hold its position within 1.5 meters. And so we had given the solution to ITR here also. The last system, what I had shown, is the reaction wheel. These are actually elements which are required to move the pointing angle or rotate the pointing angle of the satellites. Once the satellite is in space, to rotate it to another point of interest, actually, either you use jet propulsion or reaction wheels. So we have designed and developed the prototypes for reaction wheels for the satellites here itself. All the reaction wheels are being imported from abroad actually now. So these are few of the solutions what I had created over the journey of my career, and many. Recently, we are working with Bell for launching the buoy from the submarine, which is around 150 meters under the water, and launch and bring it back actually. So whenever the client gives us a requirement, I have given a lot of solutions to Reddy Labs also, where they come out with only their statements, we lost a finger or we have issues in this. So we have created solutions just by getting the normal statements from the people. So as I said, whatever innovation or research and development we create in the private industry, it is a bit challenging actually, because most of the people tend to copy. Once they have a system in their place, they try to reduce the cost of the procurement by making copies of it. So I have showcased around 30 plus systems actually, what we have developed over the period of 30 years. So, sir, this is our journey in creating solutions. Now, the subject of interest, what we are working now, is the unmanned rotary wing UAVs. As I said, rotary wing UAVs, I will just share another PPT. Please bear with me. List of. Okay, so. Yes. So I presume whatever subject we are working now has a very big implication for the present requirement, as the 1 second, yeah, as the requirement of emergency procurement from the Ministry of Defense, of the challenges at the northern border with the China. They have come up with a requirement of around 2,000 plus systems. One is a procurement for 1,000 surveillance copters actually, and the other is a procurement of 7 RFPs, which amount to around 970 UAVs, where it is the logistics thing. So how do our system fit into the present requirement and what we have done? I would like to showcase this. Now, as you see here, our company Hindustan UAV System actually is an offshoot of Digital Dynamics, because of the many products what we have developed for the different clients. This is a product what we wanted to do it ourselves, and so we have catered to it by creating a new entity, Hindustan UAV Systems. So if you see here, we wanted to give a system which is on par with the international level. And in the international market, there are only few companies, around 4 companies only, which develops rotary wing UAV. So as I mentioned about the Digital Dynamics, many of the products what we have developed is under the company Digital Dynamics actually, and also with some when I was doing consultancy also. So a lot of the products what from 2009 onwards actually we have developed many products for the private companies here under Digital Dynamics. So the first product what we have created is the CN rotary wing UAV CN50. This CN50 basically is all of weight is 50. So that's how the nomenclature 50 comes into the picture, and CN is the conventional helicopter actually. What you see is a normal main rotor and a tail rotor for this helicopter. So if you see the capabilities on the next slide, what you see here is actually it is all of weight is around 50 kg. It works as on a 2-stroke engine, petrol 2-stroke engine, and maximum payload this system can carry is around 10 kg for 2 hours. And we have limited the speed of maximum speed to around 60 kilometers per hour, with the flying altitude being a IC engine, which is normal aspirated IC engine, can go to a height of around 9,000 feet. And the range is around 50 kilometers. It can go and come 50 kilometers with a weight of 10 kg. If you are using this system only for reconnaissance, where you put a camera of around 3 kg, this can work for 4 hours with the additional tank of petrol tank, actually fuel tank you can mount, and this will work for 4 hours, where you carry only the camera and you have a reconnaissance as the main activity. So this system actually has been completely tested. What we have done in the system is we have designed the whole system, made the system, and completely tested the whole drivetrain for the system. We have a video which we had showcased to the ITR scientists when they were here, where the total functioning of the helicopter on the rig in the lab we have demonstrated. We have not brought it out still further. So what is still pending, we have already showcased here, that it has to do autonomous flight with the different hardware integration and all this thing, and we have to integrate the cameras, payloads, and all this thing. Yeah. So we have demonstrated this at many forums actually. So last was the DefExpo 2020 and the MCME at Alwal. So what you see here, the chief of the MCME interacting with us, with the ADB chief, Army Design Bureau chief, also interacting here. Their keenness to have a similar helicopter in the Himalayas, because at Himalayas the operating conditions -30 and the altitude of 6 kilometers. These are very challenging working environments, and none of the helicopters in the world are able to work there. So they had requested us, and Mr. Bipin Rawat, who is no more, had visited our stand in DefExpo 2020. He is also very excited on the product, and he also wanted this to be in the Himalayas actually. So we had created a new design for the Himalayas, and we had submitted to ADB also. So as you see, our helicopter actually, if you see, there is a similar helicopter by Israelis, if you see, and they also appreciated our design from their product, because our helicopter has the complete system enclosed in the whole body actually. We don't have anything protruding outside, where it gives you an advantage of loading different types of payloads under the body. So we have designed a small missile also, which can hit, one missile can be carried on with this, which can hit a target of around 3 kilometers to be carried by this. So that is the advantage what we had with our helicopter design actually. Now the next requirement was the ITR, where they wanted to carry a 20 kg electronic warfare or monitoring equipment actually for the monitoring of missile testing, which happens in the sea. So now presently they are engaging a full-fledged helicopter. For them, the logistics as well as the operation cost and all this thing is very high. So they have requested us to create a helicopter which can carry 20 kg to a height of 5.5 kilometers. 5.5 kilometers is a challenging thing, but still we created the CX80 model. The CX80 model, what we created is for this environment was a coaxial design. So here what you see on the left-hand side on the image, you see it does not have a tail rotor, but it has got a contra-rotating design where the contra-rotating blade also balances out the rotating forces which come into the picture. And your system being a higher number of blade area, the system is smaller and the footprint is small actually. So these are the few advantages what you have the contra rotating coaxial blades actually. So this was a maximum takeoff weight of 100 kg. You can carry a payload of 20 kg for an endurance of 4 hours and can reach an altitude of 5,500 meters. And this can give you a telemetry of 100 kilometers actually, transmitting all the required information. The request from ITR was that it should have a parachute, which we had given the parachute as well as the flotation system for the system to be collected from sea, just in case of any eventualities. So this system, apart, once we had designed the system specifically for ITR, military has come out with the requirement for using the system for logistics requirement. Now the logistics requirement is that from 20 kg to 80 kg is the requirement actually. So we had, since I said, our systems are very clean, it does not uncluttered. You can carry any payload under the belly of the helicopter. So where we had designed a small around 40 liters of the unit which can be carried, and you can go to around 100 kilometers with this also. This we had showcased in the pre-bid meeting also to the military MOD in Delhi. They were very much keen to have this system. Now, apart from this, these are some technology what we had incorporated in the box actually, where the mounting and dismounting of the box becomes very simple technique where you don't have to learn new things, to load this system onto the aircraft. So some devices what we have incorporated is auto locking and auto. You want to dispense it from the air also with the parachute system also we can dispense it from the air. Now this system also Mr. Sanjeev Sharma, who is the ADG of Signals Division from Delhi, had come down, and this is equipment what you see here on the left hand side is actually a direction finder, which is electronic warfare equipment. He was very keen to carry such equipment on the Chinese border, where we can locate any equipment which operates on the border. So he had showed tremendous interest in our equipment also and the helicopter, and they are willing to give us work if we are able to fly it at the border. So this is about the CX80. Now, with the requirement of ADB to create a helicopter for the Himalayas specifically, where it operates as -30 as well as altitude of 6,000 meters, actually, we had created the CXS250, which is a 250 kg all-up weight helicopter. And what you see here is it can carry around 60 kg payload for 5 hours. And it can take a gust wind of around 70 kilometers per hour, and operating temperatures from -40 we can give you. So this is something a very challenging requirement for the Himalayas, and we had given a quotation as they requested by ADV, which are still under processing. So we have done a thorough study of the existing helicopters which are there in the market. So in this, what you see here, these are the 4 helicopters which are there in the market in the unmanned domain, and one of the best is the Camcopter S100. Then you have Tanan, Skeldar, and AW Hero from Italy. None of these fly to that height, but yes, the payload capacities are similar to what we have. The payload goes to half to the capabilities of the helicopter once you are in the altitude of 6,000, because of the air densities, and the engine performance also goes half actually. So we have designed our own power plant to perform at that altitude for 60 kg. So these are the products what we have developed in the domain of rotary wing UAs. So this gives you an idea of what we have been working for last so many years, and I can vouch for the systems what we have developed is they are on par with the international level. So with this, I want to say the systems what we have been working for so far, we are very keen on very soon we will be able to provide our services to the military. Brahmanand Reddy Garu, I think I could say whatever is maximum what our company. We are also still developing products. One of the products which we cannot showcase now here is a very crucial product where only 2 companies in the world has created. And we are looking forward in 6 months, we should be able to give a demo at Ladakh. So this is what we are, sir. And all the supports what you had given us actually makes us more positive in thinking to create the solution and bring it to the logical end.
Very good, sir. Very good. Very good, Ramdas Garu. But do you have any patents for all these things since you have made a product and you have sold also? Yeah.
Sir, on the patent front, actually, see, basically we are a self-funded thing. So all my funding was done. We had MSME is there, we had approached MSME. We had approached them also for the patents and all this thing. They have said that they can provide us all the, but I have not patented. Many I have put in the line for patenting, but we have not got any of the patents yet. We have not got into the patenting.
Correct. You have self-financed only to design and make the product. But what about selling the product and is there any somebody has to take the product, then only you can survive. Huh?
Yes. So on the private fund, private products, whatever we have done, we have already supplied to Reddy Labs and Pioneer Seeds and many of the companies here locally. On these products are specifically for defense. So where I have not, or we have not been able to demonstrate them because of the lack of funds. For the blue helicopter, we need around 2 CR to really show the performance testing in Ladakh actually. So the funding, see, the best helicopter, what you see, Shibel, is operating from the sea, is costing around 100 crores, actually, the cost of the helicopter. Our funding requirements are in crores only for the thing. And to get a private funding person on this scale, it is a bit challenging because this product itself is a challenging product, actually. And many people cannot comprehend what we are trying to make.
Okay. Anybody else, sir? Any questions? Maidyan Saab, anything you want to ask? Vandal Rao Garu. Sir, you have to unmute. Maidyan Saab, unmute.
Good evening, sir. Ramdas, sir. Engineer Ramdas, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. Now you are doing the research on that aeroplane, the all technicality, the payload and all. So then what are the main advantage which you are innovated, sir, in the existing helicopters are there? So are you going to reduce any this fuel or any comfortability in that leg space and all? And what exactly the innovation in that, sir?
Yes, sir. Basically, now there are 3 types of flying, you can say, aircrafts, flying birds. One is the fixed wing, second is the helicopter, and third is the drone. The drone has a limitation of 45 minutes, and it has a limitation of payload, and it has a limitation of operating environment. What we provide you, actually, there is an institution from DRDO working on this specifically for your question. They had approached us, what is different about your product, actually. So we give you higher endurance, higher operating altitude, and very challenging environment. We can provide you this thing. The endurance, what you have from 6 to 8 hours, which none of the drone comes close to, actually. And being a fuel operated thing, you don't have to wait for the battery to charge or carry. See, having 1,000 helicopters actually with a battery, the logistics and the you have to hold so much of batteries and all this thing is a challenge. So we have so many advantages when you work with our fuel based engines actually and the rotary wing UAV. and you don't have to have any infrastructure to have been added to your, let's say on a ship when we are operating, you don't need to add any infrastructure. It just flies off from the deck.
Thank you, sir.
Prasad garu. Mondalrao garu. Sir, Prasad garu. Jalad. Anything, sir?
Thank you, Ramdas Garu, for an excellent presentation. I am really delighted to be here also. And thank you for the organization to host this wonderful thing. I'm wondering about the foreign collaboration opportunities for you guys. You know, I heard that you are not focusing too much on patenting as quick as possible. Are you guys at all trying? Are you guys trying for foreign collaborations at all? I know it's a defense and also some secret need to be maintained. However, in funding point of view, are you guys open for collaborations outside of the world, outside of the India, especially from US? Because I'm working with some folks who work in military, etc., in that part of the world. Also, I'm from Austin, Texas, so I involved in innovation and entrepreneurship startups. So. We have a center over there, so we're also trying to partner with an organization that works into space, etc. So I'm wondering about the collaboration opportunities here.
Sir, Prasad Garu, by all means, we are very much keen in bringing in technologies which are not available, which can reduce the cycle time. That is what we are looking. You know, see, creating something, what is it already available? We should not reinvent the wheel. So some technologies are where the US has already advanced is on the navigation system. The navigation system of a drone actually is very critical now when you are working in swarm. Individual one single drone operating is a different ball game, and working in swarm is a different ball game actually. And we have not matured to that level, even though we are. So we are definitely keen on collaborating with people who have these capabilities, and specifically the payloads. The payloads actually, if you see the cameras, also has not evolved to the extent what the international market has come up to. So these are the two domains, you know, which can really help us to bring us the product faster to the client actually. So that also strengthens our capabilities. And on the funding side, yes, definitely we were looking for some support, because we are a bootstrapped company. On whatever we have created is my own, whatever funds we generated from our own projects we used to put in. That's why the timeline is more. Had we had our own funding and see all the, what you can say, solutions, what I had given to companies till now has been created in a record time actually. I have delivered the solutions in record time where nobody could do it actually. So this is one thing which is lacking to bring the product faster. And now that we have RFP from the government to have particular drones actually for specific requirements, if we can bring in the product faster, we'll definitely have that advantage actually. So by all means, it will be a great help if people would like to. When I had showcased my helicopter at Aero India, the Israelis also had come up and said that why don't you collaborate with us? Now the thing is that, you know, engaging people in our company now also is calls for a lot of overheads actually. So we are looking for recently if yesterday also we had some meeting on the funding where I want to have my proper setup again. So I have closed down all my earlier things, and because of the fund thing. So I have delivered solutions where the time, you know, actually was a constraint. Like for American air filters from AF from UK, they had a project where you have to deliver 170 tons of stainless steel fabrication for ONGC, where the steel is not a very heavy size actually. It is maximum size of 6 millimeter to 2 millimeter. I had delivered 170 tons of fabrication in 2.5 months. So running a staff of around 150 people day and night was a challenge, but you can deliver. So my forte is troubleshooting and delivering on time. But if we have the right support, we can do an excellent job, I'll say. And the soft capabilities like colleges are very close by to us here in Hyderabad who are into aero. We have worked with few designs, and CFD, everything can be done here. But it is more of the taking capabilities where they have already matured abroad can really help us to bring the product to the table faster.
That's great. Just as a word of caution, many say foreign collaborators might be interested if you have a provisional patent file, at least to begin with. That sounds very sweet to their ears, and they pay a lot of attention on these things. So I'm sure that you know about these things, just to at least tease them that we got these things and to be developed, to put some money there. Anyway, 95% of ideas fail on the investor VC point of view. But again, this is something to have a provisional patent at least in hand, and then wave that we can do something in collaborative way. Just for our discussion sake. So
yeah, I agree with you,
these efforts further.
Yeah, I agree with you. We can get into the filing of the patents, not an issue, actually. And as I said earlier, the funding is what now I have come up with a new product, because the 1,000 surveillance copters RFP which has come in 6 months back, none of the drone company had succeeded. And we have definitely come out with a product where the gust wind resistance actually is the minimum. And there is only 2 products of the similar kind. One is in the US and the second is the Israel. So as you said, my focus was more on the creating part than on the, as you said, having some backing to showcase that we are also a company which is related to, with a lot of, I can get all the 30 items patented, as one go. So everything is unique, actually. Even the solution what we had given for Peter demand is, this X price, what works in USA. Our solution is the best, I'll say. But being open platform, we could not come up with all the what we had put in the technology. So by all means, having a patent helps you to safeguard your own ideas. And sometimes it is a challenge in India that giving a patent out also gives you a lead to how things work. So that also is there. But yes, patents are a standard by which you are judged nowadays. So by all means, we are looking forward to get into it.
Great, thank you so much. I will yield for a while. If nobody has any question, I have a suggestion for you. In case if you are open to consider such plans to enter into US market, I'll stop here for a while to let others ask a few questions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Anybody else? Shall I proceed further?
Please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ramdas Garu, for excellent this thing. I think as our Prasad Garu Jaladi said, you need to go for some patent, I think, because even that's why I asked in the initially starting itself, whether you have a patent for this particular, because I have found in Bangalore also there are the similar type of helicopters are being manufactured. Just I think I gave you some reference also. And fortunately or unfortunately, he did not join. He told me he would join. I think I will connect to him. I will also help you. And similar way, your funding also, please be in touch. Let us see how best we can go and meet somewhere this thing. Because I'm not.
has some queries. I think he would like to speak up. Anything else, sir? We should answer anything you have.
So my question, the question I have in my mind is would you be open to join any incubator? That way you would be a local company in US, and then you would be looking out for investors being in an accelerator center, say a similar one to T-Hub here. So which has all this kind of defense systems operating. Actually, they have an entire floor over there. So in case if you guys are open for such opportunities, obviously you would become a local company, and then the local story starts, and then you may also have an opportunity to file locally, meaning a US patent, which might ease in your opportunity for funding and so on and so forth. So just a thought.
Sir, my shortcomings is that I am purely, please don't mind, technical thing. My colleague who is Srikanth Reddy, who takes care of the business head actually, I will see that with the whatever opportunities you have provided, we want to definitely explore and see how we can work with you all. Because getting an incubation from US would be a great help to us actually, by all means. And I had my own reservations because of the way, see, old school thought, what's what when I was coming up. So present system is totally different actually. When the whole environment for creating something new, there is a very good system in place now to help people to come out with the solutions and all this thing. By all means, definitely incubation will help us to bring out new products actually. So I will see Mr. Srikanth Reddy will speak to you and see how we can take it forward.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. So wonderful. This touch. Be in touch with the Institution of Engineers. It may help you.
By all means, I am so much excited, Prasad Garu. You have given us a lead where we can look forward to go forward in the direction of creating better solutions and associating with people actually. And I as a product developer will only look at the financial or the shortcomings of what we had. But as you said, the ecosystem, getting into the ecosystem definitely helps the company. So I will talk to my colleague and see that we work forward on this opportunity what you have provided.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ramdas Garu, for also giving us a chance to put this type of lecture, because all this time we are calling professors and giving. I actually, in fact, bring the industry and put into this one, because every day a lecture means the professor always gives a beautiful lecture. There is nothing in that. But practically, of course, it is very difficult when you work, but to put those things into words will become very difficult to bring. Thank you very much. Now I request our engineer P. Ramireddy Garu, the Honorary Secretary, kindly to propose vote of thanks, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. The presentation was very awesome and very excellent, sir, from the first and foremost. Well, respected Chief Guest, Sri Engineer Ramdas M. Kumbala, Director Technology, Hindustan UAV Systems Private Limited, Engineer B. Brahma Reddy Garu, FIE, Chairperson IEI TSC, past chairpersons, council members, past honorary secretaries, members of Telangana State Central Committee, IEI, Professor Dr. Muhammad Moinuddin, Joint Honorary Secretary, IEI TSC, my co-committee member, Engineer Prashant, distinguished guests, family members, Engineer Koka, Krishna Mohan Rao Garu, family members, Andarki, representatives of media, print and electronic, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Telangana State Center of IEI, and on behalf, convey our sincere and profound thanks to Engineer Ramdas M. Kumbala. Please, a round of applause, please. Director Technology, Hindustan UAV Systems Private Limited, for consenting to be the chief guest and addressing the gathering. It was really very awesome and very excellent, sir. In the same vein, I also thank the dignitaries, past presidents of IEI, past chairpersons of IEI, TSC, past honorary secretaries of IEI, council members, committee members, corporate members, and all others who spared the time and made it convenient to attend the evening. I wholeheartedly thank the representatives of media. Thank you, one and all. Now, may I request the gathering to please raise and be standing for the national anthem. Good day, sir.
Jana Mana Adhinayak Jaya He Bharat Bhagya Vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Utkala Vanga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchchala Jaladhi Taranga तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
Sir, Andaraki, good night, sir. Thank you very much for once again.
Good night
Thank
for
you, sir,
all of
for
you, sir. Those are
sparing time.
participated today.